All right, what's up, guys? Damon here, and super excited today to be giving you a breakdown on a new platform I've been testing out over these last couple of days. Really interesting stuff, and I think you guys are really going to love this one. It's called Notebook LM, and this is a chatbot built on Google, specifically on their Gemini product. Notebook LM has some interesting features. It's a little bit different than your typical chatbot in the sense that it's pulling on information that you upload as opposed to being kind of a generalist chatbot similar to like ChatGPT or Claude. I would say the closest thing I'd compare it to actually is like making your own custom GPT inside of ChatGPT, where you're uploading the main source from it, where it is drawing information from. So it has a lot of really unique features. One thing in there specifically that I think is honestly going to blow your mind. So I'm going to share my screen, walk you through what this looks like. So here we got the home page. Pretty typical stuff, AI research assistant and talking about how you can upload your sources, insights you can take from it. One thing that's kind of cool that I wouldn't necessarily say this is as applicable to marketers, but if you are, say, a college student who takes exams, maybe you're like a lawyer or something, where basically anywhere you need to cite sources, they have citations for all of their stuff. As opposed to like, a lot of times when ChatGPT just spits out an answer and you just know it's wrong, but they don't know where you don't know where they're pulling information from. This kind of gives you some sources, which is kind of cool, I thought. They also brand themselves from a privacy standpoint, kind of similar to Apple, I guess you could say. So that is the homepage, and you'll see this in one sec here. They actually have a killer testimonial on here from Andre Karpathy, one of the original co-founders at OpenAI. Guy's been in the AI space since probably the beginning of AI. Realistically, total heavy hitter in that space. Not seeing it showing up on here yet, but if he likes it, chances are, there we go. This one here. If he's a fan, chances are, I think it's probably worth looking into. So he is talking about podcast episode generations, which is actually what I want to show you next. So, okay, so when you click on this, so basically what you do is you create, they call it notebooks. So you'll create a new notebook, and here you can upload, you can put Google Docs in here, you can throw links on here, you can upload files, you can just copy and paste text right into it, kind of whatever you want. So I've got a couple different examples we went off of here. Start with this one. So this is kind of what really blew my mind, I'd say. So basically, I have a YouTube channel, and I have all of the videos, saved on my hard drive. So just the MP4 files of every video. So I uploaded a pretty recent video that I did, just talking about how I'm using AI in my own business, basically to write unlimited amounts of emails, essentially, for my clients. And after maybe like 2-3 minutes, it takes a little bit of time to load, but it came up with this like 20-minute audio that it's almost like a podcast of two people commentating on my YouTube video, which, I'm not 100% sure what the use case is going to be for this, but I thought it was pretty interesting. So I want to play a few minutes of this just so you can hear it.
Today, we're going to be diving into like this really fascinating idea, how AI is giving small businesses this crazy advantage, something called infinite leverage.
Interesting.
We'll be kind of unpacking a video we found featuring this entrepreneur who's actually living this AI revolution every day.
They're talking about me here. So.
He runs his own email marketing business and does like fractional CMO work for clients.
Okay, got it. So he's really in the thick of it.
Yeah, exactly.
What I find so fascinating about all this is, this isn't some like distant future we're talking about. This guy is using these tools right now, today, to get results that like previously only huge companies could even dream of.
Right, it's pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So let's break down what he
They're totally hyping me up here, by the way, which is pretty awesome.
What he actually does. His main thing is crafting these sales emails, the kind that just like get client sales teams a ton of calls.
The high converting kind.
Exactly, yeah. So imagine writing like 4 or 5 of these killer emails every single day.
Sounds intense.
That was his life for 2 years straight, and it was like his absolute limit. To grow any further, he would have had to hire more people. Right?
Yeah, that's the classic scaling problem.
Yeah.
You want more revenue, you usually got to deal with more costs. It's like this one-to-one thing.
Right, right. But this entrepreneur, he stumbled onto something like a total game changer. AI.
Ooh, okay, tell me more.
AI allows him to write this crazy volume of high quality emails. Not literally infinite, but enough to basically blow past that whole scaling rule.
So instead of like, bringing on a whole team of copywriters, he basically gave himself an AI superpower.
Yeah, precisely. And that's exactly what we're talking about here. Leverage. It's about doing more with.
Okay, honestly, it kind of sounds like a PR article. This is way better than most of the PR articles I see, shared from like Forbes and stuff like that. But I'm not going to play this whole thing because it's 20 minutes long. Pretty crazy how they were able to spit that out in like 3 minutes. But I listened to the entire version the last time I generated this, and it's pretty good. So that was the most interesting part I found from Notebook LM, hands down. And I did want to share a few other things. So in terms of like actual use cases, what would you put this towards if you were to test this out tomorrow? So similar to any other, Claude, ChatGPT, you can use this for copy, for critiquing copy specifically. So all you got to do is there's a couple different ways to do this, but this is what I did. So I just took some copy, that I was working on, like a promotion or a set of ads that I'm writing, and I took a copy book. So I picked the Ultimate Desktop Copy Coach, really great read. Got a PDF on this on my computer. So I uploaded that. Let's get a sec here. And then I also uploaded like a set of ads, some ads I wrote. And we got the output here. So I will say this platform can be a little tricky sometimes if we look through just this here. So I initially tried to only upload the document, because if you've messed with ChatGPT's custom GPTs, you know that you don't really want to confuse it with the sources. Having like one main source is kind of ideal. I tried to do that. I figured that was what was going to work. So I uploaded this book first, and then I threw the ad in the chat. So here is the ad. So I'm basically saying like, hey, can you critique the ad? Then prompts me to add it in. I throw the ad in here. And then it does this like 3 times. It's like the system's unable to answer. So I upload it again. Once again, unable to answer. Why can't you answer? Then upload it again. Same thing. So this is me getting frustrated with it, as you can tell. Getting more frustrated here. But then so we went back and forth. It was not cooperating. So eventually, around one of these points, I just uploaded the Google Doc into the source, and that fixed it. And it can actually like read within the doc. So once I got through this little part, it actually has, I would say, pretty good copy critiques. So I had a couple different ads in here. Let's just read through this real quick. Okay, yeah, like for example, this is a pretty new company we're working with here, so we don't have tons of social proof to pull on. Stuff like that, doesn't talk about the team's expertise. It was, to be fair, the lack of specific details, it was a very curiosity-based ad, I will say, so I was intentionally trying to not include that. And, we obviously want to avoid, like, Facebook ad compliance issues, FTC stuff, so I try to keep words vague. But from a copy fundamental standpoint, I'd say it's a valid criticism here, and a pretty good analysis too. Emphasizing scarcity, social proof, risk reversal, stuff like that. I always push AI to just tell me more. Like when it gives me an answer, I just follow it up. It's in sales we call it Socratic dialogue, but tell me more about this. So It's this. And then I also lastly ask it to rewrite it for me. So here is the final one. I will say the ad that they made is really not that different than my initial ad. I don't have that offhand. I mean, this is a good ad, but this is also because it's essentially the same thing I wrote. So, in my opinion, um, I think that this is a good analysis platform. I've ran through a couple different iterations of this. Wasn't its best work. Um, the one I previously ran was better, but I do think it's capable of analyzing copy at a pretty solid level. Writing copy, I still have to experiment with that a little bit more. Haven't been as impressed with that, but from an analysis standpoint, I think it's pretty good. It's tricky to use, like we are seeing up here. It's a little bit tough to push the answers through. Kind of like launching Facebook ads. You just gotta hammer your way through it sometimes, but eventually it'll work. So yeah, I think that is pretty much it. The main thing I was impressed by here was this audio, because if it can spit that out, I think there's a lot of different use cases for that, like podcasts, stuff like that. But we'll see. So that is it for this video. If you've tried out Notebook LM, if you found some really interesting stuff that I didn't come across in this, definitely feel free to drop a comment on that. Would love to hear more about your experience with Notebook LM, what you think this could be used for, and all that good stuff. So thank you so much for watching.